Check two. Idea Leap, TVFCU. We will begin in about 15 minutes.
Here at TVFCU, we believe in the power of small businesses to shape the future of our communities. Since 2018, we've been proud to host the Idea Leap Grant Competition, an initiative designed to propel local small businesses towards success. Our commitment to supporting the growth and enhancement of services for small businesses started with the Idea Leap Loan Program in 2016.
Hi, I'm Brianne. I own Bees Sweets, and we've been in business since 2012. I received the Idea Leap loan in 2016. It was a two-part thing. I got $7,000 as a loan and then $7,000 as a line of credit to help me continue. I didn't know that the Idea Leap loan was a thing until I went to SCORE and sat down with Mary to start a 5-year business plan. And because I wasn't getting anywhere with the big banks and figuring out how I could resituate some things and make my idea come to life. And Mary was like, there's this new thing and this is what it's built for. And you are the first applicant that I think that this will help you and build your business, and you really need to go for it.
This innovative program has already provided approximately $7 million to small businesses. As a not-for-profit credit union, TVFCU has the unique ability to reinvest proceeds from the Idea Leap loans back into the community. This led to the creation of the Idea Leap Grant Program in 2018. Since its inception, TVFCU has proudly awarded $485,500 in grants and scholarships to local small businesses.
Hi, my name is Douglas Lee. I'm one of the co-owners of Decaffeinated Drive-Thru Coffee in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
We've been in business for almost 4 years now. We opened in July of 2019.
With the $50,000 that we've won from the Idea Leap grant, we have so far started the process of installing the hood, and we've ordered all of the bagel equipment for the bakery. All the money has been spent on equipment as of right now, plus some.
We actually originally started working with TVFCU by going through co-starters as part of a collab program. And we were told about the Idea Leap loan by someone who was working at collab at the time. And so we applied for it. And that's actually what paid for the roaster that's right behind me when we started New Wave Coffee Roasters originally.
In 2023, we took the Idea Leap grant to new heights by expanding the program into 3 regional competitions. We awarded a total of $175,000 in grants to 11 deserving entrepreneurs. This year, TVFCU is giving away a total of $225,000, $75,000 in each region. A total of 44 unique businesses have already benefited from the Idea Leap grants, contributing to the vibrancy of our local entrepreneurial ecosystem. Because at TVFCU, we believe in the potential of every local business to make a difference.
Well, how many of y'all are excited to be here tonight?
What's up?
Wow.
How is everybody? Y'all ready to give away some money or what? Woo! Woo, look at this event space.
Very excited. I'm
Yeah.
Tammy Zumbrin.
I'm Ryan Henn. I'm with Tennessee Valley Credit Union's Business Services Department. We are so excited to be here for our last event of the week.
Yeah, I'm in the marketing department. I wasn't going to tell y'all that, but if he's going to plug business
That's
services,
right.
I'll plug marketing. But we are so excited. This will be our third night of competitions. And let me tell you, these businesses have blown me away. Haven't they?
Man, we have had so much fun.
We stand backstage every night. We try to figure out who's going to win, and we can't do it. I mean, I'm glad you guys get to figure that out.
Yeah,
because
judges, I tell
our
you.
judges
Got your
have
work cut
a
out for
very
you.
tough job. Hopefully, all of y'all got to enjoy the reception, right? Okay. Well, we want to give a big shout out to Chambliss Law for sponsoring and hosting the reception. And so we're going to take a minute and go ahead and bring Jeffrey and Courtney up here to say a word about the reception tonight and about how they work with Startup Week.
Good evening, and thank you for coming, and thank you to each of you who attended our Startup Social prior to the pitch competition. Before we begin this evening, please join us in a round of applause to our awesome Soundforce team who served as our DJ tonight, Party Bites for the amazing food, and Signal for hosting the Idea Leap events this afternoon and evening. My name is Courtney Keehan, and I'm an associate attorney at Chambliss and co-chair of the Chambliss Startup Group. And this is Jeffrey Maddox, a shareholder at Chambliss and also my co-chair. The Chambliss Startup Group was formed back in 2011 to celebrate, inspire, and promote the entrepreneurs in pursuing their visions. We are a group of attorneys who are passionate about supporting the startup and entrepreneurial community, especially those here in the Chattanooga area.
All right, like Courtney said, I'm Jeffrey Maddox. This is our third year being able to serve as a sponsor for the reception prior to the event tonight. And we can just say that over the past 3 years, it is amazing to see the contestants that come up. And so we are just very fortunate to be a part of this event for the past 3 years. We want to give a big thank you to TVFCU one more time for allowing us to partner with them on this incredible event. Finally, congratulations to the 5 contestants that are participating tonight. To somewhat be involved in this process, you see what these 5 companies put into being here tonight. And so we are just excited to be a part of this, excited to be able to partner with TVFCU at this event. So again, thank you. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of this. And we're going to turn it back over to Ryan and Tammy to get this started.
Thank you so much, Jeffrey and Courtney. You guys are a pleasure. So we got some run of shows. One housekeeping item that I can't forget to do is please do us a favor and silence your cell phones. These contestants are up here pitching, and we do not want to distract them. It is easy to get distracted. So just do me a favor. If you got to take a call, slide out. That's one rule I have tonight, if you don't mind. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, we're going to begin tonight by bringing out our CEO, Todd Fortner, who actually approved all this money along with our board of directors to give away.
That's right.
So, he's pretty important. So, Todd.
Yeah, all right. Well, hello, Chattanooga. 7th year that we've done Idea Leap here in Chattanooga. We are thrilled to be back. Yeah. So as we've already done some events this week, we had one in Calhoun, Georgia. And then a couple nights ago, we were in Cleveland. And at each of these events, I've been lucky enough, my wife's been able to attend. And after one, you do a little public speaking like this. She's like, hey, how did I do public speaking? She's like, you're great. You're brief. And I don't know. Is that a compliment, Kim? It's kind of rough presentation there. But so we'll talk a little bit tonight about who's won already. So in Calhoun, we had the winner in Northwest Georgia is Cake Addicts, and they are a cake and cupcake place, and they had some real needs that we were able to fulfill for them through their winning this year. They were also the People's Choice Award. We have a People's Choice Award every year, so they catapulted themselves from the People's Choice Award to the grand prize. And it's interesting, the one thing they need is more oven space, but what was holding them back was the wiring, the cost of wiring their facility. $14,000 they needed just for the wiring part of it. So now with our grant, they're going to be able to expand and increase their presence in the area. So if any of you want a great cake, we would tell you Cakes Addicts is where you need to call. They will definitely do a corporate event here in Chattanooga. And then a couple nights ago, we were in Cleveland, and the winner was Ocoee Riverside Farm. And this is just an incredible story. Dion did a site visit, and Tommy's going to introduce Dion in a minute. Dion did a site visit. She came back to the credit union. She's like, you wouldn't believe the place I just went to in Ocoee, Tennessee. And there, you actually go and stay there. They have a covered wagon you can stay at, as well as some cabins you can stay at. And they have a lot of exotic animals that you can experience while you're there, including they have a kangaroo. They have a sloth, which the sloth made it to the pitch. If you see over here on the left, she brought her sloth with her as part of her pitch. Now, you knew she was going to win as soon as she did that, right? Yeah. So they're going to use the money that they won to build a pavilion so that they can now have corporate events in addition to having people come out to the site. So if you get a chance, go online, look up Ocoee Riverside Farm. It might be an experience you'd be interested in engaging in or having your kids go to. So that's what we like to do. We're one of the strongest financial institutions here in the country, not just in Tennessee, not just in the Southeast, but we are one of the strongest financial institutions in the country. That allows us to give back to the members who are part of the credit union through lower rates on loans and higher rates on deposits. And if you come to our office now, you'll find one of the highest rates on CDs that you can find in the city. And of course, events like tonight, we're able to give back to the small businesses and help multiply the money that we give into more jobs and uplift the entire community. So with that, I'd like to welcome to the stage our Vice President of Business Services, the brainchild behind Ideal Leap, Mr. Tommy Nix.
Thanks, Todd. Wow. It's unbelievable to be here tonight. It's unbelievable to see all the faces and people here. Thank you guys so very, very much for coming out. It means the world to us that you show up and support these small businesses. It tells us that you understand that small businesses are a key driver to the economy and make our community better. High tide rises all boats, and we really are trying to rise the tide here. I get to do a number of things here, and Todd mentioned being brief, so I don't know if that was a message to me to be brief or if it was him being brief or what, but you guys really don't want to hear from us. Y'all want to hear from the contestants, so I will try to get out of here as quickly as I can. But I do need to say thank you to a few folks. I'm going to repeat some of what Courtney said. Obviously, we want to thank Chambliss and their partnership for the last 3 years. We really appreciate that. They have been a phenomenal partner and really have brought the reception piece to a higher level and certainly made all of us better. So I think they deserve another round of applause. Obviously, Party Bites. Party Bites, by way of an acquisition, is kind of an Idea Leap alumni. They bought one of our recipients from a number of years ago, so we're really proud to see Party Bites participate, and they did an awesome job with the food. So thank you to Party Bites, and again, I think they deserve a round of applause as well. The Signal, what a great place. This is such a fabulous venue. Really excited to be here. We loved being at the Bessie. The Bessie was a great facility for us, but we fortunately outgrew it. And that's a good problem to have, and obviously evidenced by the number of people here tonight. So again, to the Signal, thank you guys very much. Really appreciate all the help from y'all. Philip, I'm going to try to get it right tonight. The other day, I called him by the wrong name. Not the first time I've done something like that. So Sound Force, again, Courtney, thanks Sound Force. They helped them out with the DJing for the reception, but Philip and his team have been at every one of our events. They were in Calhoun Monday night. They were in Cleveland Tuesday night. They were with us Wednesday morning at an Idea Leap alumni breakfast. They were with us this afternoon at a luncheon that we had where we had Karen Hutton speak, and they're here tonight. So they really deserve a great deal of appreciation and gratitude. So Philip, thank you, and Sound Force. It takes a village to make this happen, and obviously we're thinking of lots of folks. And it takes an internal village as well as our volunteer judges who we'll talk about here in a minute. I still hadn't figured out who I'm going to pick on yet. So I'm going to delay that just a little while I let that run through my brain. But do want to thank the business and commercial services team. They're the folks that helped check you in when you came in, helped direct you parking. We've had guys stand out in the sun this afternoon at lunch and tonight. They did it in Calhoun. They did it in Ocoee. So to the business and commercial services team, thank you guys very much. And we couldn't do it without you guys. So a round of applause for them. Maybe there's a little bit of rivalry between marketing and business and commercial services. Kim, I don't know. It seemed like maybe Ryan and Tammy had something going on there, but we want to thank the marketing team. They're the ones that make all this happen. They're the social media drivers. They're the advertising folks. They're the folks that get the TV stations, the radio stations, all of those folks here to help us in all of the different markets that we go to. And they do a phenomenal job. Hannah in our marketing department did the voiceover for the video, the Idea Leap video. She did a fantastic job. We realized there was an error in it the other day, and she corrected it just like that. So to the marketing team, thank you guys very much. And specifically, I want to thank Jessica Buffkin, because Jessica is the one that does the yeoman's amount of work. She is the one that gets the registrations, coordinates all this stuff. I mean, 16 pages of run a show and all the things that we got to do, all the little details. It's Jessica making sure that those things are taken care of. So. You know, we get to come up here and look good. Well, maybe not look good, but at least get to come up here anyway and talk and, you know, make you guys squirm a little bit, like, well, wish you'd get out of the way so these folks come up and pitch. It's folks like Jessica, it's folks like Hannah that make it all of this come off without a hitch. So again, thank you so very much to them. So I get to introduce the judges, some of which I really have a fun time playing around with. And giving a hard time. Normally it's Jeffrey Maddox that I pick on, but I don't know if I'm going to pick on Jeffrey this year or not. I might just be nice and not pick on anybody. How about that? So Kristen over there is kind of, yeah, don't do that. So anyway, I want to introduce the judges. We'll start here on the right hand, on my right hand side, the left hand side, Vicki Bone. Vicki, this is your third or fourth year? Third year being a judge for us. She's a local consultant, and we have been very, very blessed to have Vicki support us through the years. So round of applause for Vicki Bone. Next to Vicki is Liza Soyden. Liza is someone Liza, I guess we've known you, what, 12 years now? Something like that. This is your second year as a judge. Liza's done a number of different things in the support of the entrepreneurial community throughout Chattanooga, been an entrepreneur herself, has done actually worked for the credit union at one point in time, helping us out with some stuff, and just been a phenomenal individual to get to know and support. She currently is with Chestnut Opportunity Fund, and we really appreciate what Liza's done for us. So again, round of applause for Liza. I think I embarrassed you last year, didn't I, Liza? I went a little too, yeah. I'm not going to do that this year. I'm trying to be briefer. So anyway, next up is Jeffrey Maddox. Y'all met Jeffrey already, so I don't know that he really needs an introduction. Jeffrey is just a really good dude. I got to tell you, we banter back and forth. We have a good time. But Jeffrey's just a really good dude, and really appreciate his support. He's obviously been a connection with us in Chambliss, and just really appreciate Jeffrey's efforts. This is Jeffrey's second year as well, and so thank you, Jeffrey. We do have two attorneys on the panel, and you know that. Well, I'll just leave it at that. Next up is the other attorney, and they're sitting next to each other. I don't get that either, but anyway, it's Chuck Fisher. Chuck's with Grant Convalika Harrison and does some work with Noon Development. Chuck, this is your fourth year being a judge? Fifth, okay. Chuck is apparently a glutton for punishment. He keeps coming back. But Chuck and I have also known each other for about 12 years. He does volunteer work over at the Tennessee Small Business Development Center, which is where Chuck and I met. And we really appreciate all the work. Chuck also does some work for us, and we really appreciate that. So a round of applause for Chuck Fisher. We also have a tendency to bring a winner back and make them work. It's like, we invested some money in your business, and now we really kind of expecting something back from you, right, Brianna? So Brianna Garza back here, she's our pitch coach. We really appreciate it. She was our winner in 21, but we have Sharon Green here with us with Professional Cleaning Solutions, one of our winners from last year. So Sharon, thank you. This is obviously her first year, and we really appreciate your support. Next, we have Kristen Copeland. And Kristen, you and I don't know each other well enough, I guess, for me to really give you some grief. But anyway, so I'm gonna let that go. She's been sitting over there nervous, wondering whether I was going to say something. I could tell that she was really nervous. But this is Kristen's second year with us. She's with EPB, and so Kristen, thank you very much. And then certainly not last, or she's last but not least in any way, shape, form, or fashion. One of the dearest people to me in the world. Someone who has been involved in the Idea Leap grant since the beginning. She is the only staff member from TVFCU that served. Well, I guess that's technically not true anymore, is it, Dion? Emily pitched in on Dion's behalf on Tuesday night, but Dion's been with it from the beginning. She has to wrangle. I think I figured it up. It was 20 judges this year, 21 judges, and 30 businesses, and coordinating schedules for site visits. That's 50 variables. Think about that. That's a task just in and of itself. So Dion, and for you to be here tonight means a lot too. So Dion Jenkins, Vice President with Credit Union, thank you so very, very much. Now, somehow I wound up with my notes from last year. I don't know how that happened, but it says, give a shout out to Jake Cash. Where is Jake? Back here. Stand up, Jake. Come on. So Jake actually wrote that in my notes last year. He was in Jessica's role last year and wrote that in my notes. Didn't think I was going to say it. And I did, and then this year I had to. So I'm picking on Jake instead of you guys. How about that? Last, I just want to say that we are unbelievably blessed. Chattanooga is an entrepreneurial community. It's a community that supports entrepreneurs. We have a lot of folks in this room that are part of that ecosystem, and we're extremely grateful for you guys being here tonight. This week has been, for me, the word has been blessed. We're blessed to be able to reinvest in our communities and our entrepreneurs and to help them grow their businesses. And again, high tide, rising all boats. We're blessed, those of us that work for the credit union, to work at an institution that believes in supporting small business and believes in supporting the community and believes in supporting its associates. It's a fabulous place to work, and we are all extremely blessed. So I will close with saying we're blessed to have you guys here tonight. We're blessed to have the 5 finalists that we have, and I am going to get out of the way and let Ryan and Tammy come back up. Thank you, guys. Have a great night.
All right, we're going to make this brief. We're getting this party started. Who's ready? Let's get this party started. Sammy, what are you doing?
Ryan, it's been a long week. And
Yeah.
You've eaten junk food all week. And you haven't exercised, and we've had 12
I have not exercised any this week.
And I know that's probably driving you crazy.
What is this?
I brought you some things to, you put that between your legs, and, let's work on those muscles a little bit. And here's our medicine ball.
What is this?
Got it? You missed it.
I need some practice.
He needs practice.
Where would I get practice?
I know where you're going to get practice.
Where?
There is a great company that is pitching tonight called
Southern Soul Yoga.
So we're going to bring them out first.
Good evening, everybody. I would like to start this evening off with an exercise in joy and in gratitude. So if everyone could place one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. And if it feels good and safe for you in this room, you can go ahead and close your eyes. And so I'm going to invite you to bring into your visualization right now the best thing that has happened to you today. And I want that feeling to just wash over your body. And then I want you to hold that in your heart for the rest of the evening. And then all together, let's take a deep breath in through the nose and a full exhale. Let it go out of the mouth. All right, if your eyes are closed, you can go ahead and open them so that I can meet you. I am Jenna Wright, and I am the co-owner of Southern Soul Yoga and Pilates. My other owner is my lovely husband, Ryan Wright, who is sitting in the audience this evening. Ryan makes sure that everything works behind the scenes so that I can stand up here and do fun things like this. We are truly the perfect team. All right, so the question of the evening, what are we going to do with this money? All right, well, we're going to take this $30,000 and we're going to build out a state-of-the-art fitness training facility in our St. Elmo location. And so what do we need to achieve this? We need 4 Pilates reformers, 4 Pilates chairs, 4 Pilates towers, and 2 classic Cadillacs. No, we're not buying cars. This is actually a Pilates apparatus. So the cost of all of this is $73,800. And with your contribution of $30,000, we'll be able to put our down payment down, get the equipment ordered, and get it into our studio space. So what is Southern Soul's impact on community? Our impact on community is huge, and it's only getting bigger. The community is the backbone of our business. And so how many times have you interacted with a member of our homeless population and you just don't know what to do and you don't know how to serve? Well, we've been able to volunteer over 72 hours to our Yoga in the Park program. And sometimes when you're in fight or flight or you're in a trauma situation, you forget to do the simplest things like just to stop and breathe. And so through our work at Rooms at the Inn, we've been able to impact 147 families, not individuals, families. That includes our vulnerable youth. We've been able to donate over $50,000 in classes and in memberships through our community fundraisers, local community fundraisers like the YMCA and Downside Up. And so what is our utopia against competition? Well, I don't have to say this, but yoga and Pilates studios have become a dime a dozen, and there are so many in this city that are doing such a great job. But what do we have that they don't? Well, we have a master instructor who is in charge of both the yoga and the Pilates. We have 4 studios across Hamilton County with hundreds of classes per week with the option of childcare. And this is what I'm most proud of, and this number is extremely polarizing. 94%. Yes, 94% of yoga and Pilates studio owners and practitioners are Caucasian female. And so with Ryan and I at the helm of Southern Soul, we have been able to create the most diverse fitness staff in the city, with over 50% of our staff identifying as a minority in the city of Chattanooga. And so people will always choose us because they can see themselves in us. When you walk through Southern Soul's doors, you feel seen, you feel heard, and you will feel represented. So where do we see ourselves in 2 years? We will be able to lower our training costs by 35%, which will generate an extra $250,000 in revenue. And with instructors in diversity ready to go, we will be able to double our footprint from 4 studios to 8 studios across the Tennessee region. And I know that my ask is big, but my ask is bigger than me. My ask is bigger than my business. My ask can start to shift that 94%. Tonight, right here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, we can change the course of history. But I can't do that without your help. That's my time. Thank you.
Thank you for that presentation, Jenna. At this time, do we have any questions from the judges? So Jenna, I'll start. Tell us, why did you get started in Pilates and yoga?
Oh,
Very quickly.
I love that question so much. Thank you for asking that, Dion. So I have been practicing yoga since I was about 12 years old. And I say this all the time. I don't know where I would be without this practice, right? It has gotten me through so many tough times in my life. I lost my brother last year. We've had, some trauma and some turmoil in my life. And I know that I can always roll out my mat and I can find my space, I can find my breath, and I can always re-find myself. And so knowing that I could do that for myself, I knew that I needed to be able to do this for my communities as well. The communities that we live in, that we raise our children in, I want us to be the happiest and the healthiest that we can possibly be.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Are there any additional questions? Thank you, Jenna.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Wow. What a way to get started. It's been a long week, and I always try to get my co-host something. And I went and I bought her this most beautiful bouquet of flowers. But where'd you get that?
I'm getting ready to go to Hawaii.
That is gorgeous.
So
But
have a beautiful little day.
that was actually the judge's gift.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. It was sitting backstage.
I got the
Are
judges
these-
a gift too.
Are
These
these
are
for
yours.
me?
But
Oh,
those are
let me
for
tell
you,
you,
judges.
these-
And Chuck Fisher and Jeffrey Maddox, those are going on your head right now.
They smell amazing. Yes, I can't wait to see you two wearing.
At least for the
yeah.
next 5 minutes during our next pitch.
Yes, we're going to bring out our next finalist, and it is
Creekside Flower Farm.
Flower Farm. Start over for you. My name is Morgan Sharp, and I'm the owner of Creekside Flower Farm. And I believe that beauty is a birthright. I'm going to say that again. Let it sink in. Beauty is a birthright. We deserve beauty. It is essential to human flourishing. In the same way that food feeds our bodies, beauty feeds our souls. Flowers are one of the strongest conduits of beauty. They accompany us at every threshold. Think about it. At weddings, at funerals, at birthday parties, at graduations, flowers are with us at every threshold. They invoke wonder and they offer pause. Locally grown flowers not only meet that need for beauty, they also reconnect us to a place in time, to this place, Chattanooga, in this moment. We're not merely inhabitants of this place, we cohabitate with a living landscape. Our roots are entwined. Everyone, everywhere, deserves beauty all of the time. Flowers should be accessible to everyone, which is why we've donated over 8,000 flowers to local nonprofits and long-term care facilities. But our impact on our local community is even bigger than that. Here's two specific examples. Michelle, who's one of our neighbors at the farm, said, "It's a blessing that I can tell people that I live by Creekside Flower Farm rather than the Walker County landfill." Jeremy, who owns the rental store in Chattanooga, shared that his family's dog was surrounded by flowers, Creekside flowers, at his burial. This is it. This is what I'm talking about. That is a threshold moment. And tonight is a threshold moment for Creekside Flower Farm, which is why I brought flowers for all of you. What you're looking at here is an image of my farm. The larger image is of the front field of the farm, and the smaller inset image is of the back field of the farm, where we have a very large, unheated greenhouse. Without a heated growing structure, we're only able to produce blooms from March through October. We will use the funds from the Idea Leap grant to extend the electricity on our farm from that front field to the back field, which will allow us to heat that greenhouse and ultimately allow us to produce year-round flowers. Now, according to North Georgia Electric, it's going to cost $18,000 just to run that electrical line. On top of that, they require that I have a footing in place, which is going to cost an additional $10,000. And then I'll need 2 meter stations for $2,000. So I need $30,000. Convenient, right? Producing year-round flowers will fill the gap in the market for locally grown flowers in the winter. And it will enable me to retain my employees year-round rather than seasonally. Over the past 8 years in business, direct competitors have popped up regularly. And our customers continue to choose us because we have built relationships based on excellent communication and quality product. In addition, we supply specialty crops, things like peonies and viburnum, things that take years to grow and establish. And soon, we will be the only local farm producing flowers in the Chattanooga area in the winter. In the next 2 years, Creekside Flower Farm will fill the market gap for locally grown flowers in the winter. This will increase our revenue likely by 50%, moving us from a business with seasonal revenue to a business with full-time revenue. That increase in revenue and production is going to need more employees. We're expecting to hire at least 3 additional full-time employees. We will continue to increase our capacity and our offerings of on-farm events, not only meeting people's need for beauty, but reconnecting them to this place, to Chattanooga. With your help, we will bring more beauty to Chattanooga with locally grown flowers year-round. Thank you.
Are there any questions from the judges?
So tell us, why did you start this farm?
It's a great question. There's 2 reasons for that. The first is why I started farming. So I have lived in several different states and several different countries, and I have this deep sense of placelessness. I don't really know where to call home. And so when I was graduating from college, I had this like, where do I go next? And I was reading this author, Wendell Berry, and he talks about this concept of becoming placed, like actually rooting yourself into a place through the soil, through the people around you. And I thought, that's it. I'm going to start farming. I'm going to actually put my hands in the soil and figure out my place in doing that. So that's why I started farming. I started flower farming because I believe that people have an innate appetite for beauty. Like I said, we need beauty. It's part of human flourishing. And so that's why I chose to grow flowers instead of veggies or something else.
Thank you for your pitch. Knowing that you're going to be increasing your product capacity, what steps have you taken to increase your operational capacity if given this grant?
Yeah, so we're constantly trying to increase our infrastructure to kind of prepare us for this time. I am a very practical person, and so I like to take the baby steps as I go. So this year, for example, we produced 1,500 flowers for Valentine's Day. It was our first time ever producing flowers in the dead of winter. We did that in somebody's guest bedroom. We're not going to do that again, likely, but we got the experience, right? So now we know, like, what do we need? We need a lot of shelves. We need a lot of tarps. I mean, a lot of different things if you're going to grow indoors. I also built a greenhouse, a miniature version of the larger version that we're going for. I heated it myself. I learned how to do the propane. I learned all the little kind of facets of heating a space like that. So I've just slowly been building the smaller versions of things so that as we get to the bigger version, I'm comfortable, the learning curve isn't as steep. Yeah.
Thank you, Morgan.
Thank you.
Well, everybody is talking about technology and AI, and I found this guy hanging out backstage, and I decided to replace Ryan with him because he doesn't talk as much. He's not going to hog the mic, and he's got great abs.
Wait a minute.
What?
Now, listen, I know I'm going
You're
bald,
supposed to stay
but I'm
down
not
there.
going that bald. I know I'm going bald. I'm not going that bald. But I do like this fire jacket this
I
guy's
know,
got
he's
on.
got on a really cool jacket.
But it's
pretty
not
nice.
as cool as that t-shirt.
So where's this t-shirt from? What's
I
special
think
about it?
it is from our next contestant who we're going to bring up this afternoon.
Okay, and who? Oh, you've got
From Humanitees!
All right, come on out, Humanities! Gotta take my guy with me.
Hey, how's it going, humans? My name is Antonio Hickman, and I am the owner and operator of Humanitees Print Design, your one-stop shop for all things apparel. Quick question. Have you ever had that one friend that had all those crazy ideas, the entrepreneurial drive to make it happen, and the skill set to back it? Well, I did. That was my good friend, Josh Harris. I was privileged to watch Josh navigate through entrepreneurship in a small amount of time that we was able to share in their life together. And during that time, I'm assuming the entrepreneur bug jumped off and got onto me because I came up with this idea that I want to start a company. I asked him, did he want to do it with me? And with his full support and backing, the idea of Humanities was born in late 2018. The beginning of that next year, right before we started, I unfortunately lost him to his battle with mental health the day before we was actually going to start the business. And as devastating as that was, I was faced with two options. Either I could stop right there, go back to my comfort zone or working a 9 to 5, or I can do the crazy thing, jump out on faith and continue the vision that we both set forth. And it's with honor and privilege that I'm able to stand on the stage in front of you all and my peers to say that 5 years later, Humanities is still going strong, serving the world and our community. However, to help us continue on that journey to excellence, great success, and achieve all the goals, let's just be honest. Money is a key component into a successful business. With $2,500 going towards signage, we can increase our visibility to our current customers and our new customers and help us eliminate a problem, which package deliveries. No one can find us. $22,000 will be allocated towards doubling our production equipment, which will directly increase our profitability and ramp up our production time, which means faster turnaround times, and faster turnaround times means happier customers. Allocating $4,000 of that to in-house garments and materials will eliminate the need for compound shipping from our vendors. We'll have everything in-house, which means now we speed up production, we have everything when you need it the day that you order it, and we can get it right back to you in a decent amount of time. And what better way to service our customers than hand delivering those packages? And we can do that by allocating $1,500 going right into Huey, our handler, which is our company truck, to get him back on the road and to your doorstep with your precious goods. We have been honored to walk and work alongside some great companies and organizations to pour right back into Chattanooga and the local youth. So much so that we've been able to dedicate 180 hours and give $11,000 right back into Chattanooga through means of services, internships, summer jobs, and providing equipment to local to local organizations and centers. These are just a few of the things that set us apart from any other competitor that dare steps into Chattanooga and try to do what we do. I know I said it before, but we're real big on community inclusiveness. We're local driven, we're real people who really care and love what we do. And one thing that sets us apart from our national and local competitors is we understand the strains of starting a business and that starting point, which is why we implemented the no minimum order entry. Not everybody has $500, $1,000 and wants to place a 100-piece order shirt. And we understand that. So over the next 2 years, as we continue to do that, we plan on implementing our school course beta curriculum program right into Howard High School, which will allow the students to get the skills that they need to enter a $26 billion a year industry, which is the apparel industry. We're going to expand our team 2 to 4 people, which will give us 60% growth. We're going to offer monthly print classes, and in doing all of this, in turn, it will dump $100,000 right back into our Chattanooga ecosystem. If this sounds like something that you want to be a part of, or if you want to come by and support us on our journey, feel free to stop by and see us. Hopefully we'll have our signage by then so you can find us. Visit our website, call us, or send us an email. And as always, love yourself a little bit more today because you deserve it.
Are there any questions from the judges?
Yeah, I have a question. So what percentage of your business is done locally versus not?
85% is local.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You said you're going into Howard School. Are there any other schools on your list where you would go in and train the children after Howard?
Yes, ma'am. Well, so far as in the centers, it's in the Southside Center. We donated a press to the Southside Center, partnering up with Dynamo Studios. So they're the ones that's going to help us integrate into Howard High School because they're directly connected to them. So once we get that curriculum going and then we can get it approved by the school board, we plan on putting in as many schools as we can because a lot of people before us said that they used to screen print in school. Nobody does that anymore. It's a sustainable business. Every day everybody wakes up, we all put on clothes head to toe.
Thank you, Antonio.
Thank you.
I told you we had some great contestants tonight, didn't I? Any of y'all want to come take their place and try to vote? Oh, you must see my t-shirt, right? I'm modeling. Well, if we're almost done. We have 2 more to go.
Tammy.
What?
You know I'm in the gift giving business.
This has been a good year for gifts.
It's been a good year for gifts.
Yeah,
But this
I'm glad.
one came from the Chattanooga market on Sunday. And
I
you
can't wait to-
guys out there,
Oh.
if you could only smell this box.
Oh my gosh.
I'm telling you
Oh
what.
my gosh. This one
It
says, I
smells
love
delicious.
this because it says positivity. I had an office and the saying on my wall was, be positive. I love to be positive. This is great.
Why don't you
That is a
spray me
wonderful
with that
gift.
right there? Let me get some of that on.
What is this stuff?
This is
This is shower gel. You need a shower. So you're probably sweating.
I'm gonna tell y'all something.
Oh my gosh, that smells phenomenal.
I'm gonna have to get home quick tonight.
Yeah.
Home quick
Your wife's going to wonder where you've been when you go home smelling that good. So.
Let me tell you where I got this.
Yes, and we want to bring them on out.
So
Where'd
at the
you get
market, it was the coolest little setup, pop-up shop.
Okay.
It was from our next contestant, Divine
Purity.
Hey, y'all. Hey, guys. My name is Cassandra Tucker. I am the reluctant but very passionate visionary of Divine Purity Aurapothecary, which is an all-natural, non-toxic, plant-based body care and home fragrance company. You know, whoever would have thought that my calling would include late nights, constant business worries, never-ending to-do list. And I forgot my clicker over here. See what I'm talking about? But hey, whenever life throws you lemons, you make candles, right? Yeah. So we have humble beginnings. Our journey to how we became into existence started because we took a plant-based approach to preserve my grandmother's dying life. And it actually worked. And from that, we were inspired to create products that harness the power of Mother Earth in the most delightful ways. And at Divine Purity Aurapothecary, our values are integrity, quality, love for humanity, and positivity. That was the name of that candle. Did y'all see what I did there? So how will we use this money? How will we use it? Guys, this is our home base, 550 square foot space. This is where we produce all of our products, and we need a new space, plain and simple. And we've been actively looking in 2 prime locations, which is the Brainerd area and the Main Street area. What the $30,000 will do, yes, all 30,000 of it, will do is pay up our lease for at least 6 to 8 months, allowing us to refocus, really not refocus, but focus on growing the other parts of our business. So with that, with paying up to 6 to 8 months, we're able to increase our production capacity by 100%. We'll also be able to establish Chattanooga's very first refillery. That's where our customers can come in and refill Divine Purity products as well as other raw ingredients, aligning with our commitment to sustainability. We'll be able to diversify streams of income by creating a DIY classroom to allow our customers to have a hands-on experience with workshops and classes. We'll also be able to gain more corporate accounts. Last year, we were able to do 1,200 self-care gifts, over 1,200 actually, for Unum. We'll be able to do that even on a larger scale, with a larger area. With the area being larger, we're able to purchase in bulk. So that means that we can become a hub for other local makers. So there are a lot of makers in Chattanooga who do what I do, and they have a very hard time sourcing quality products, well, ingredients. So they would rely on us to do so, and I'm very excited about that because I think all of those things together, they actually create community. How do we give back? We've been giving back to the Chattanooga area since our existence. We've given over hundreds of bars to organizations like Chattanooga Room at the End, the Chattanooga Free Store, the McClellan Family Shelter, and the Chambliss Center for Children. I messed that up on my other thing too. Oh well. We've also thank y'all. We've also, listen, it's not what I do every day. I make things that smell good, not do this. Thank you, thank you. We've donated our time to organizations like the Girls Inc., Upward Bound, where we empower young individuals. What sets us apart? We have been a trusted brand in the Chattanooga area for over 10 years. We treat our customers just like family. And here are some reviews. They say it says it. Our small batch production ensures consistent quality every single time. And our commitment to kindness, community, and sustainability resonates with many. This authenticity and dedication to meaningful value sets us apart from our competitors. With your support, we anticipate a steady growth of 15%. And this is a modest number because we plan on reinvesting our revenue, our profit from our current sales back into the business to build the refillery and to get workshops started. And with this, we plan on hiring at least 2 new full-time employees outside of our trusted friends and family. We're going to expand our customer base and boost the local economy by attracting more eco-conscious customers. But without your help, our expansion and growth potential will be severely limited, opening us up for missed opportunities, for new services, community engagement, and collaboration with local makers. Slower revenue growth would delay our ability to invest in our community. But you guys are the catalyst for the change that will propel our growth and make our dreams a reality. Thank you.
Hey, can you tell us more about the refillery and the products that you anticipate having?
Yes. So we had a storefront back in 2017, and we had a refillery, and that allowed our customers to come in and use the bottles that they already have and refill their favorite Divine Purity products. With this refillery, we're going to take that same idea, but we're going to add a little kick to it. So the raw ingredients, because we're able to buy in bulk, it will allow our customers, for the ones who are really happy and they like DIY stuff, they'll be able to come in and actually purchase raw ingredients for their own DIY projects. We're also looking to team up with like local coffee makers, local honey people, so we can have all these things on tap so we can support the local community in that way too.
Are there any additional questions?
So based on the expansion in the new space, you have a lot of goals, have a lot of things that you want to do in that space. How do you plan to fund all that?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last part.
How do you plan to fund all that?
Oh, so we have, my husband and I, the way we have built our business, we have built it from the ground up ourselves. And now we're profitable. So I've already mapped it out. It's 2,000 square feet that we need, okay? Our production space is already up and going, and we already have sales already. So what we'll do is we'll take, with the $30,000, it pays up a whole lease, right? So we can take the money from the profits that we make and reinvest it back into the business like we've always done.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cassandra.
Thank you.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Y'all agree? Everywhere you go.
Tammy, what are you wearing? It's just May.
Well, it feels like Christmas.
Why would you be wearing something so outgoing and crazy?
My hat's falling off. What do you do at Christmas?
Well, I decorate myself.
But you also give presents. And we're giving a lot of money away.
Ideally, it's Christmas week.
Ideally, it's just like Christmas, but in May. And so we had to be festive, and we have to have some Christmas songs. But we do have one more contestant. And, I don't know who does the decorating at your house, but all the outside stuff is my hubby. Do you do a good job at your house?
I don't do a good job. I really, really need somebody to help me do it.
Oh, well, I know somebody that can decorate that actually comes into my neighborhood and puts up all the exterior lights, like up the eaves and everything. It is gorgeous, and I think you need to check in with them.
I'm gonna check him out, but I think I met him backstage.
I think they're backstage, so they're going to come on out and tell us. We're going to bring up
Renew Exterior Services.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Brandon Beavers, and I am the proud owner of Renew Exterior Services. At Renew, we have 2 sides to the company: exterior cleaning and exterior lighting. On the cleaning side, we offer roof and house washing, gutter cleaning, and pressure washing. On the lighting side, we offer holiday lighting, landscape lighting, permanent lighting, and bistro lighting. Now, we do have competition in both areas of our business, but what would we do if a direct competitor decided to set up shop right next door to us? We would keep doing the exact same things we've been doing. At Renew, we pride ourselves on doing the little things better and more consistently than any other service company. That simply means answering the phone, showing up on time and in uniform, doing what we said we would do, following up with our clients, and if we make a mistake, we fix it. We are striving to become the Chick-fil-A of service companies. We are huge on building systems that can provide a memorable and repeatable customer experience. At Renew, we do the little things well so that the big things can take care of themselves. Big things like growing. So how would we use the funds at Renew as we've been able to grow? First, we need more holiday lighting materials, guys. In 2023, we installed over 7 miles of Christmas lights. This year, we need to bulk order $20,000 of material just to keep up with demand. That's going to equate to $200,000 of revenue when we sell out, which we've done for the last 2 years. Second, we need a new shipping container, guys. We currently have 2 containers that are full to the absolute brim, and we need a third. This container would cost $5,000 and allow us to store an additional 118 homes. Lastly, we need a landscape lighting demo kit. This kit would cost $5,000, but it will allow us to go out to a client's home at night and set up a professional display in less than 10 minutes. It'll also help increase our closing rate because people are so visual and allow for better internal training for our team. Now, we have most of what we need for the cleaning side of our business. Now we need your help to scale the lighting side. And we don't take the opportunity for this grant or the value of $1 lightly either. That's why I wanted to take a moment to tell you a little bit about myself personally and explain to you why my why is so important to me and how I pour that why into our business and into our community. I went to 13 elementary schools, bounced around foster care and group homes, and we were really, really poor. Most of our meals came from dining and dashing, and I once got in trouble for not being able to bring in 3 cans of food for a canned food drive, when little did I or my teacher know that the food drive was actually organized for our family. And if it weren't for programs like Angel Tree, we would have known more Christmases without gifts. That's why in 2023, we launched our own community program called Gifting Back. It's like the Angel Tree program, except we actually get to go shopping with the kids. We no longer have to wonder if the 7-year-old little girl is going to like her shoes or not, or if they'll even fit. We get to see the excitement on these kids' faces, and then just for a brief moment, these parents don't have to worry. Because every child gets $250 to spend evenly between toys and necessities. And in 2023, I'm proud to say we got to sponsor our very first 2 children, Kai and Van. And as the business grows, our give back will grow. So where do we see ourselves in the next 2 years? First, we're going to sponsor at least an additional 35 children for gifting back. We may not be able to make a difference in the lives of hundreds of families yet, but speaking from experience, our gifting back program can make all of the difference for these families. 2, we're going to generate $1.2 to $1.8 million of revenue in the next 2 years, a 50 to 70% increase over the previous 2. We're going to do this by selling landscape lighting year-round with the demo kit, getting ahead of our 10-week Christmas season that accounts for 40% of our annual revenue by bulk ordering our materials, and then having somewhere to store those lights. And without that container, guys, those lights are going to have to come to my house, and my wife already said no. Lastly, we're going to open up our first Renew franchise locations. We have focused massively on systems and branding. And with what we have built, we know that Renew can be a resounding success in areas all across the Southeast. So join our family as we grow our business and our give back and build a legacy that lasts. That's my time, guys. Thank you very much.
Are there questions from the judges?
Thank you so much. Can you describe a little bit about your staffing? It sounds like sometimes it may be a little bit more seasonal, sometimes with winter versus summer. What's your staffing like?
Yeah, so our staffing is very seasonal. We carry at least 2 full-time technicians throughout the year. We have a full-time admin throughout the year. And then my wife, she owns a bookkeeping company. She's an accountant. She does a lot of work with us as well. And so we have like 6-page P&L. We can follow everything really good, right? But in the wintertime, we really ramp up. So this is almost all of our team. Our virtual assistant, Jane, she's in the Philippines. She's with us full-time. But this was the full-time team. This year, we're going to need to add at least 2 more people to our staff, and then hopefully a third because we need a full-time warehouse person during that time of year to get things ready and prep the trucks for the team.
Thank you.
You talked about the lighting side of the business. If you got the grant, would 100% of that grant, my perception, and maybe I missed something, was that all of that's going to go toward the lighting side because that's the growth area. Was I correct?
Yes, ma'am. So we started our cleaning company back in 2021. That's how we pay the bills throughout the entire year. But we were actually a double dipper. So we're a Ideal Leap loan recipient. We took all of that money and rebranded and got equipment. And so because of TVFCU, we have everything we need for the cleaning side of the business. But what happened is I was hanging out with people smarter than me up north, and they were like, hey, you should do lights in the wintertime to supplement the income in the wintertime. And so we did. And our first year doing lights, it was 40% of our revenue. Our second year doing lights, also 40% of our revenue. And so what we did is we reached out to some other people and learned about permanent lighting, landscape lighting, bistro lighting. We went and got training in all of those areas. And so now we no longer have just the cleaning side, which does pay the bills, and taught me how to run a great company. But now we can actually take the lighting side and scale.
Thank you.
All right. So you told us your plans for the Ideal Leap grant currently, but if you plan on franchising, was that also part of your next 2-year plan?
Yeah, so our franchising is part of the next 2-year plan. It is not part of the next 6 months plan, probably not part of the next year plan.
Okay.
So what I'm doing right now, and I reached out throughout Ideal Leap this week, and I might have somebody that can help teach me a little bit about the process. But my goal is to go out and hang out with people smarter than me, learn as much as I can, and then take the proceeds from our Christmas season and there's about 60 grand worth of legal work for it. But it's a big vision, but if it's not scary, it doesn't really mean as much.
Good. You answered my next question because I was going to say, what are your plans financially to kind of prepare for that outside of the grant?
Yeah, so our cleaning season pays the bills year round. When we land our landscape lighting jobs, our permanent lighting jobs, those really get us ahead and allow us to do something extra throughout the year. And then we've also landed some pretty nice contracts for cleaning this year. So we're probably going to double that this year as well. And with the cleaning side, one team pays for everything we need and a little bit more. We're about to be ready for a second team, and then our margins skyrocket, right? But the lighting during the holiday season, it does have really good margins. And we already have 42% of our clients from last year signed up for 3 years. And then we have another 5% signed up for an additional for this year. And then we get about 20% in the October timeframe when people are thinking about Christmas.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you, guys.
Wow, what a bunch of entrepreneurs. Wow, so this concludes the part of the pitch, but this is my favorite part, and that's when I actually get to tell these judges what to do, and that is it's time to go. It's time to get kicked out. It's time to go backstage, and it's time to do some voting. So for those of you who don't know what's going on, if this is your first pitch competition, what's really unique about this competition and what we pride ourselves on is we give away this money tonight. There's no waiting. There's no going. These judges are going backstage, and they're going to put their calculations together, and we're going to come out, and we're going to give away this money. But in the meantime, don't get out of your seat because, boy, do we have a treat for you.
We do. We have got a fabulous speaker tonight for while the judges are back there deliberating. And hopefully it won't take them too long. But let me tell you a little bit about our speaker. It is the Reverend Bernie Miller. And I don't know how many of y'all know him. And I can't see with these on if I'm looking there, but I need them to look here. But there was actually a TV special on about him this year, and I caught part of it. And it's so fascinating. I think you guys are going to love hearing his story. But let me tell you a little bit about his bio. His name extends far beyond Chattanooga. He's known widely by people such as Yoko Ono. Does anybody in here know Yoko Ono? Or President Bush? I haven't actually gotten to meet them, but our speaker has. He's currently the pastor of New Covenant Fellowship Church. But he first gained publicity in Baltimore when he became the youngest DJ at only 16 years old. And then at age 17, he was promoted and became the youngest program director, managing both the AM and the FM radio stations there. Through various DJ jobs, he gained recognition for being far ahead of the times for the songs that he picked. And his notoriety eventually led him to the record business, where he began to write some music and ended up in Memphis, Tennessee in 1972. He was a staff writer for High Records, and he co-wrote a hit song that has been recorded multiple times. He collaborated with Don Bryant, and the name of the song is I Can't Stand the Rain. Has anybody heard that song? Very popular song. He wrote that, and the last person and the most famous person that you may have heard record that was the late Tina Turner. Isn't that exciting? And you guys are going to get to hear from him tonight. He traveled all over the country doing his DJ work. He eventually became the vice president of Sony Epic Records in New York City. Now, I don't know how he came to Chattanooga, Tennessee, but he's going to come out here and he's going to tell us. And he's going to tell us how he ended up living this fabulous life and then becoming a part of our community and what he is contributing to it today. So I want y'all to give a big, warm welcome to the Reverend Bernie Miller.
Well, the death of a legend like Tina Turner never means they're truly gone. Her music will always live on. Liam Collins is in the studio with how the legendary queen of rock and roll touched lives here in the Tennessee Valley. Liam?
Yeah, and Latrice, all that is especially true for a Chattanooga pastor by the name of Bernie Miller. And to learn more about his connection to that iconic voice, you have to go back quite a bit to a young songwriter just trying to make ends meet. Hearing these sweet notes brings back all of those sweet memories. It was a rainy day in Memphis, spring 1973 at High Records Studio. Bernie Miller was playing a tune on the piano that he just couldn't get out of his head. Singer Don Bryant walked up to him.
He said, that sounds like it'll be able to fit something that I'm working on. I said, really? He says, yeah, let me put my piece with your piece and I'll get back to you.
That catchy tune would become this.
I can't stand the rain.
The classic, I Can't Stand the Rain, first recorded by Bryant's wife, Ann Peebles, but made famous by the queen of rock and roll herself, the late, great Tina Turner.
Ann Peebles, the R&B version of it, it was pretty popular. But Tina's version took it to another level. But it was a special time. It really was.
It was on Tina's signature album, Private Dancer, which went triple platinum in 1985. And she was there when the album was presented directly to Miller. She told him she loved the song and signed it for him.
Am I with Tina Turner? And she did my song, and it's triple platinum. I'm thinking, cha-ching,
And he sure was standing right next to Tina Turner on her rise to fame, at the top of her game, that iconic hairdo almost as big as his smile.
I pinch myself. Anybody that writes a song wants it to be a hit. And if you don't, then why write?
That tune did so much more for him than he ever could have imagined. It was his third song ever recorded, and it changed his life.
I was going through some financial hard times, and her song helped me through a bunch of hard times and helped me to eat.
Since that rainy day in Memphis in 1973, the song has been featured in Tina's documentary, a Broadway show about Tina's life, and reached the Billboard's top 100 songs of all time. because of a catchy tune that turned into a smash hit far beyond Miller's wildest dreams. You know what's so great about stories like this, right, Latrice, is we're always going to be listening to Tina Turner's music
we
forever.
are.
But it's so much of the people behind the scenes who, you don't really think of.
That's right. And Pastor Miller has a rich history in like music over the years and has written songs. But I loved his, and that's classic. He said, the first thing is ching. And it's like,
And he's still getting that cha-ching, by the way.
Yes,
so there
exactly.
you go.
When you think about that song
Yeah,
and everything.
absolutely.
And we were talking about and just kind of the whole thing about Tina Turner and when you think about her humble beginnings that she came from in
She
West
has a great story.
Yes,
Yeah.
in West Tennessee, absolutely. All right, Liam. Well,
Yeah.
good story there.
Thanks, Latrice.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Good evening. Tennessee Valley, it's been our bank for over 30 years, and glad to be here to help out in some small way. I was asked backstage, well, how did you get to Chattanooga? Well, I got to Chattanooga by way of New York City, and I got here in 1990 from New York City, where I was the vice president of A&R, and that essentially is artists and repertoire. I was assigned to getting artists for the label. I had a great budget, and I traveled around the country, and I got to New York by way of Milwaukee. I got to Milwaukee by way of Chicago, where I worked for Johnson Publishing Company. They used to put out Ebony and Jet magazine. And I got to Chicago by way of Oakland, California. I got to Oakland, California by way of Jacksonville, Florida. I got to Jacksonville, Florida by way of Washington, D.C. I got to Washington, D.C. by way of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I got to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania by way of New Orleans, and I got to New Orleans by way of Memphis. I got to Memphis by way of Omaha, Nebraska. I got to Omaha, Nebraska by way of Baltimore, Maryland. I got to Baltimore, Maryland by way of Salisbury, North Carolina. I got to Salisbury, North Carolina by Margaret Miller, my mother. My radio career started in Baltimore as an intern owned by James Brown, and he owned the radio station that I worked for. And I started as an intern, and one day I saw some newspapers standing up against the wall, and they had piled up rather against the wall. And my neighbor had moved, and I was saying, well, these newspapers are going to waste. So I decided to be an entrepreneur, and I took one of the newspapers, and I decided to sell it to the radio station news director, and he bought it. Well, I thought, I got a good thing going. I got a little money here in my pocket. So I came back the next morning, and I wanted to buy another paper. And he said, we already get the newspaper. We only did this to help you out. He said, but can you read? And I said, well, yeah. He said, why don't you come back after school? At the time, I was in the 7th grade or 8th or whatever. And he said, why don't you come back? And I want you to read something. And it was called Accent on Youth. And I came back and I read it. And he told me to keep coming back. And he wanted me to read something every week. And so I started there at 16 years old. And several months later, the manager told me to get myself, well, at that time, you had to get a work permit. So I got myself a work permit and started working at the station. And then after that, I went on the air and started my radio career. And that's where everything started. I had a need. I needed some money. I filled that need when I was hired to work at the Baltimore radio station when I was 17 years old. And I started interning there and developing my skill. And it was interesting because I loved what I was doing. And so my skill became my passion and my vocation became my avocation. And I am still using my skills as an announcer, pastor, and broadcaster on WJTT, Power 94 every Sunday morning from 6 until 10 a.m. And something that I do as pleasure to me. I really kind of donate my time. Most of the time, if you think about what I do and what they pay me, it's really nothing at all. I do it because I love doing it. And but my life changed when I was at Sony Epic Records, and I was able to manage $1 million budget, and I was able to use my skills from Sony and to be able to start my church in 1996. And we set it up with a business model because while I was working at Sony, I understood marketing, promotion, and I understood how you had to carve out a piece of the pie. The pie is only so large. And so you've got to get a slither out of that pie, and you got to identify who you are. And so when we started our radio station, when we started the church, I came up with the slogan, "A place for every race," because that really encapsulates who we are and who we still are today. And so I want to give you 3 words that I'm going to come back to. One is skill, the other one is need, and the other one is passion. A wise king named Solomon said, "A nation will be strong and endure when it has intelligent, sensible leaders. With honest, sensible leaders, there is stability." So the first thing I want to tell you about leadership is nothing happens until someone provides leadership. If you look at history, number one, look at the cell phone industry. It wouldn't be anything without Steve Jobs, because he started Apple. And Apple, by the way, most of you may not know this, but they got their logo from the Beatles. The Beatles had a record company called Apple. And the apple on their record label had a stem. When Steve Jobs took it over, he modified that particular logo, and now it has a bite out of that apple, and that became his logo. But nothing would have happened. He revolutionized the cell phone industry. And what about the civil rights movement? Martin Luther King said, "I have a dream." And so without him having a dream, I don't believe a lot of the things that we've seen happen in our country would have been able to happen. So I use dream as an acrostic. First of all, the letter D means dedicate. Dedicate your life to someone or something greater than yourselves. The greater someone in my life is my faith in God, and also my wife, and also our church family. The greater things that have been my dedication, that I've dedicated my life to, is serving in the community, not only nationally, but also locally on boards and committees. And while I was chair of the Chattanooga Housing Authority Board, we were able to win the Best Practices Award because the victims of Katrina needed a place to stay, and they came here, and we provided for them. We gave them housing. The R is for reserve. Reserve time alone. I reserve time alone with God and pray. And I was reading in the Bible and noticed that Jesus also took time alone by going up to the mountain numerous times. Evaluate. Evaluate your abilities. You need to look at who you are and ask others close to you who have varied backgrounds to help you with whatever it is that you're trying to do. I have a lot of folks around me, I had at the start and still do now, that were very, very versed in every area of life that I needed as a small businessman, and also people who knew finance. I was able to use all of their skills, those who knew the Bible, and I was able to be coached because I had some people around me that could evaluate my abilities. And the other thing is associate. I associate myself with positive people, with dreamers. I associate myself with people of faith, because if you're around a negative person, you will become who you are around. And I associate with dreamers. And I found out that my song would not have been written had it not been for other people who also had dreams. Then the letter M, make your dream public. I shared my dream with various famous songwriters, and one in particular, he said to me, he says, "Look, if you want to write a hit song, what you've got to do is you've got to learn how to play an instrument, or you've got to find someone that can play an instrument and put music to your lyrics." Well, I could never find anyone that could write the music to my lyrics, so I decided I'd learn how to play. So I taught myself how to play the piano, and that's how it all happened. Now, the test of leadership is this. Is anybody following you? Because if you say you're in leadership and nobody is following you, you're just taking a walk. Where there is no leadership, people do their own thing. And there is instability when people do their own thing. Now, if you want to know whether you're a leader or not, as I said, look behind you. Leadership, by the way, has nothing to do with titles or positions. It has to do with influence. The foundation of leadership is character and not charisma. D.L. Moody, founder of Moody Bible Institute, said character is what you are in the dark when nobody is looking. And I think about people with charisma, and I think about some very famous rappers. They have a lot of charisma, but not many of them have good character. And so a leader has to have character and also credibility, because leadership is influence. And if you don't have credibility, nobody will follow you. Other thing about leadership is learned. Every one of you can be a great leader. Leaders are made, not born. Somebody said, well, you were a born leader. No, you are made a leader. They are made leaders by the way that they respond to circumstances. Now, it is wise to learn from experience, but it is wiser to learn from the people who've already experienced it. You can learn from others' successes, and you can also learn from others' failures as well. All leaders are learners. Life is too short to learn everything by trial and error. The other thing about leadership is the moment you stop learning, you lose your right to lead. John Maxwell published the 5 Habits of Highly Effective Leaders, and here's what he wrote. Number 1, effective leaders tolerate diversity. Our church is known as a place for every race. That tells you immediately that we tolerate diversity. The other thing is effective leaders develop other people. There's a book that's called Let Go, and it's a fresh look at effective leadership. And the key concept of the author's book is the answer to the question, is my job to build a strong business, or is it to build strong people who will help me build the business? Now, if you build strong people, then your business will be strong. But if you strive to build strong businesses, you may not end up building strong people. The other thing is effective leaders make decisions. Now, as a former chair of the U.S. Census Bureau's Race and Ethnicity Advisory Committee and the former chair of the Tennessee Advisory Committee to the U.S. Commission on Civil Rights, we had to make some tough decisions about some things that involved counting people, the way they were named on the Census Bureau's fill out, and the way that the people here in Chattanooga and in Tennessee in particular were counting people in terms of those who didn't achieve unitary status, and the school system was taken to task, and they had to take care of that because we all worked together collectively and made some decisions. And the other thing is, and I'll finish up here, effective leaders welcome feedback. I've learned this very important thing. It's very important to me to compliment people in public and critique them in private. If you ever want to kill someone's spirit, critique them in public, and you've just lost all respect. Effective leaders care about people. Now, let me go back to the 3 words, skill, need, and passion. What need do you see in the community? We've seen some people present tonight, and when they presented, they told you about a need. They also told you that they had the skill to fulfill that need. But my question to them, and some of them do have this, but before you get into business, do you have a passion for that business? And will you do that even if you do not get paid? See, if you have a passion for something, you will do it even if you don't get a dime. I volunteer for a lot of things and don't get a dime for it, but it's because I enjoy what I do and I enjoy donating my time. So the question is, do you have a passion for the need that you see, and do you have the skills to meet that need? If you do, congratulations. Money is coming from those folks who just walked back in. Thank y'all for allowing me to be here.
TVFCU, place for all of us.
Guess what I got in my hands?
Time to find out who's taking home all the money, because everybody's a winner. So remember that.
That's right.
Everybody goes home a winner tonight.
So not only are the finalists winning some money tonight, but we have some special giveaways tonight for the audience, as well as something on behalf of the judges. So at this moment, I'm going to bring up one of our business lenders, and we call him Mr. Idea Leap around here. He does all things Idea Leap loan, all things Idea Leap grant. Marcus Johnson.
Marcus! Woo-hoo!
Good evening, everybody. So before I get started, and I will be brief, I guess I made these guys mad because they brought me up right before the money. So I won't belabor, but let's give all of the contestants a round of applause one more time. So my name is Marcus K. Johnson. I'm a business lender, and I have the privilege of managing both our Idea Leap loan and grant program. And one of the things that has made this program so successful are our collaborators in the community. We have partnerships with several entrepreneurship organizations around town that help make this program a success. They refer loan opportunities to us for our Idea Leap loan startup program, and they've helped a lot of our grant recipients and contestants with their pitches and also their applications. And so what we're going to do tonight, and what we do every year on behalf of the judges, is we are going to award two $2,500 grants to two of our collaborating partners. So the first $2,500 grant is going to go to UTC for their Veterans Entrepreneurship Program. So Katrina Craven, if you could come up to the stage. UTC's Veterans Entrepreneurship Program is a several-month entrepreneurship program that is targeted to veteran entrepreneurs, those who are currently in business and those who want to be in business. So if there's anyone in the crowd that fits that description, please look into UTC's Veterans Entrepreneurship Program. So let's give UTC a hand.
Hand is right there.
Next up is the Urban League of Greater Chattanooga. So if Leah Kimbrough will come to the stage. This scholarship is for the Urban League's Next Level program. So this Next Level program is for entrepreneurs who have been in business for at least 2 years. And the Urban League is a vital resource in our community in helping to connect entrepreneurs to not only capital, but also the information that they need to be successful. So let's give a hand to the Urban League.
Okay, we're just building up the suspense here for our winners.
That's right. Build up the
Marcus?
suspense.
Yeah.
So for the audience, we have something for you guys who registered when you came in.
We actually have some cash prizes that I'm going to call out.
And one of our commercial lenders here in Chattanooga, Nancy Hell, is going to be running these to you guys in the audience. So we better hear where you're at when you call your name out so we can find you.
Okay, the first one is for $100, and that goes to Declan O'Connell. Is Declan here? Better jump up and scream and yell and run down here. What? Is Declan not here? All right. I'm going to go to the next name, Aaron Stevens. All right, come on down, Aaron. Okay, we have another $100, and please, please, please forgive me if I mispronounce your name, but it's either Mia or Maya. Is Mia here? All right, come on down here, Mia. Okay, now for some big money, $250. Drew Ellis. Oh, there's Drew.
The left side over here. Come on,
Okay.
Tammy. Give me somebody on this side. Come on.
I know, we haven't got anybody on that side. I'll try. Okay, our last cash prize, $250, goes to Lee McCorkle.
Left side.
Right
We're
here
so
on the
sorry,
front.
right side.
I don't know how that happened, that they're all from the same side. That was not intended. Congratulations to all of you. And now it is my honor to bring back up Todd Fortner and Tommy Nix to present the big money.
All right, guys, we're down to it. 300 applications, over 300 applications, and we're down to the 5 finalists. The way this works is we give $10,000 to 3 finalists, $15,000 to 1, and the grand prize of $30,000 to 1. So the first thing we're going to do is give away the $15,000 runner-up. And Tommy's got the keys here. The winner of the $15,000 is Renew Exterior Cleaning.
Go Renew! Yay! That is awesome.
Nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, now you already know. So just imagine. Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good creeping up on you. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on. All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. There ain't nobody.
All right, Tammy, you ready for this?
I'm ready for the top prize.
All right.
Yes.
How about Tammy and Ryan in the intros today? They were on their game tonight.
Yeah, we had a good time. It's always fun.
Yeah,
we love having fun.
I still can't wait to see Ryan's wife when he smells him.
Yeah.
All right. The grand prize winner tonight, $30,000. We're about to change the direction of someone's business right here. Tommy, who is the winner of our $30,000 grand prize? Southern Soul Yoga!
Congratulations! Woo-hoo! I like that enthusiasm. Okay. We have three. Yeah, don't go anywhere because we got 3 more businesses to bring up and some more money to give away. And the first one goes to Divine Purity. $10,000. Come on up, Divine. Next, Creekside Flower Farm, come on down. And last one is Humanitees Print Design. We are so proud. Let's line up with each one of these. We're going to get each one, y'all. Come on out. We got to get your picture. Okay, here we go. Okay, we got one more, then we're going to bring everybody back out here. All right, humanity.
But I'm not the kind of person that it fits. She said that you wanna go, how much you wanna.
Okay, I want all the winners to come right back out here with your checks. All the winners, come line up out here with your checks. Come on. Come on. I just want to say, this has been an exciting night. These guys are all winners. This money is going to change their business, right? It's going to be poured back into the community. Let's give them all a standing ovation. Woo! They all killed it tonight.
Where'd you wanna go?
Okay, let me tell you what we're
All right, all right. Congratulations, everybody. What a great night. Thank you all so very much for coming out, making this so special. 5 fantastic winners. We are so excited. We have now invested almost $750,000 in the grant in the 7 years that we've been doing it. We're excited to move forward. Look for more information come the fall. Hopefully, we'll be opening applications again in November for the 8th annual Idea Leap grant. Thank you to all the folks that helped us, Sound Force, Signal, Party Bike, Shambliss. I don't know who I'm forgetting, but thanks. Y'all have a great night.
Come back next year and be watching in the fall for the next grant opportunity. All right, if you guys have people you want in your pictures, bring the families up. We're going to, if friends and family would come to the side stage, we're going to get some photos with friends and family.
Get a good feeling, yeah.
Okay.
I get a feeling that I never had before. No, I get a good feeling, yeah. Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah.
I need friends and family of the winners come to the side stage. We are going to start with Creekside Flower. If you're with Creekside Flower, let's get y'all to wait right over here, and then we'll get y'all screwed. Creekside Flower, come join.